Hey there, NBA fans. What's going on? It's your boy, Jonathan Macri, with you for a fresh episode, a live episode of NBA Takedown. Apologies in advance. My voice sounds like crap. So I am going to have to rely on my two compatriots here for this episode. Shawn with a W. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. Happy NBA opening day to all who celebrate, because today's a real opening day. I don't care about that 2-game crap from yesterday. This is the real opening day.
It is the real opening day. I don't know. Last night, we'll talk about it. Well, last night always has like a kind of a unique feel. It's like the first night of the football season when you get the one game. And it's like, yeah, the football season kind of started, but it's like not really. And Jeff, what's going on, Jeff? How you doing, brother?
I'm chilling, man. Unlike Shawn, I cared a lot about yesterday. It's the start of the NBA season. It should be a holiday, and I'm ready to go. The main event is tonight for me, but it was a good opening round of games yesterday.
What could you possibly be referring to in terms of an opening event? I have no idea what you mean by that.
I mean, the capital of the world's representative basketball team, the only team in New York City that represents the 5 boroughs, is playing basketball tonight in the world's most famous arena. That's what I know.
You are correct that there is only one basketball team that matters in the city of New York. As far as I know, there is only one basketball team in the city of New York. And we will get into that in a bit because we are going to do a little bit of a preview of tonight's games. And we'll each go through what we are looking forward to from each of those games and all that great stuff. But first, we do have to talk a little bit about last night. We could start in a couple of different places. I understand, like, this is our first show that we are doing after the beginning of the NBA season. So our first topic that we discuss after actual NBA games have been played says a lot about what the show is and what our values are and what we purport to be. And I'm very cognizant of that when I say that we are going to open the show discussing the only thing that we could possibly open the show to discuss. I don't even know what a close second would be. And that is the gentleman by the name of Carmelo Anthony, who made his national television debut as one of the lead desk guys. I don't know. What's his name? He's not an anchor. He's not a broadcaster. Analyst.
Yeah.
Is that giving Melo too much credit to call him an analyst?
No.
Well, let me ask you this. Our analysts, when you picture an analyst, Shawn, what do you picture an analyst wearing?
If it's an analyst for a major North American sport, whether they are in studio or as in this case, on the road or on location, they're usually wearing some sort of suit or some sort of business formal attire.
You mean like the two gentlemen standing next to Carmelo Anthony? I believe their names were Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter.
Yes. And for those listening on the podcast, there is a picture of Mr. McGrady's in a suit, Mr. Carter is in a suit, Ms. Maria Taylor is in, again, business attire.
Looking wonderful,
glowing. And then we have Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, so again, for anybody listening on the podcast, we're showing a picture of the desk, as it were, the NBC desk, which we should say is not only, as you said, Shawn, a studio show for like a major North American pro sport. It is NBC's return to the league that, much to the regret of many, they left behind 27 years ago, because 1998. Yeah. Jeff, I'm just going to open with a question for you because I think I've narrowed it down. So Carmelo Anthony showed up wearing, what would you define this actually as, Jeff? Is it a sweatsuit or is there a different name that you would give this?
A quarter zip jacket. That's what you call that. It's like, it's velour. It's not really a bomber because there's not as much heft on it. You could probably get away if you want to call it a bomber, but it's like a jogging suit. It's a very rich jogging suit.
Tracksuit.
Like a tracksuit. Okay. Thank you. A tracksuit top.
I love where where we're all from, we meet in the middle. when you say quarter zip, you see my face get a little confused. When you say tracksuit to the boy from Staten Island, the Italian horn slash Playboy bunny on his gold chain, now you're speaking my language. That is a tracksuit, as I am looking at it right now. It is a tracksuit. So my question to both of you, Jeff, I'll start with you. I've narrowed it down to one of three things that went through Carmelo Anthony's mind when he went into his closet for his choice. Number one, I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to tell everybody, hey, I'm here to be me, and you're going to get maybe not the serious takes from other analysts, and I'm just going to do my thing. Option number two, man, I'm Carmelo Anthony. I can wear whatever the fuck I want, when I want, in front of whom I want, and that's that. And then option number three, which is the option that I'm going to go with, which is that it did not even cross his mind the gravity or the grandeur of this, and he just went to his closet and be like, all right, what am I going to wear today? Grabbed it, put it on, walked on to work. Jeff, do you have a fourth option, or would you care to pick from one of those three?
I think those three options work.
Oh, I lost you. I think you muted yourself for a second.
I think his daughter is going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Shawn, pick up the slack.
I'll pick the slack. So I think it's a combination of a few. I think it's more along the lines of, listen, he knew. Okay, he definitely didn't say like, look in the closet in the morning and is like, I'm just gonna. What do I feel like wearing today? He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what outfit he wanted to wear, and he's probably known this for weeks, if not months.
So this is premeditated.
This is absolutely premeditated.
Okay. All right. I mean, I respect it. I respect it because it's Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony can do whatever he wants. He's accomplished more in one lifetime than I would in 100 lifetimes. But don't
sell yourself short.
Listen, the man is 10th all time in scoring in NBA history. If the man wants to wear a tracksuit on national television, the man can wear a tracksuit on national television. I am not going to hold that against him. And quite frankly, I respect it. But we had to open the show with it. Do you want to talk about some of the actual basketball or some of the takes emerging from this game? Maybe it would be a better way to put it.
Let's talk about basketball.
Okay, let's talk about basketball. So from scrolling and doing all the things that we do, think that the number one national consensus takeaway from this game is that Alperen Sengun has arrived. We should say at the outset, for anybody who may have been doing other things last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder played the Houston Rockets. It was as good a game as we are likely to see all year. It was absolutely a rock fight for much of the game. It was a defense forward game. These two teams, it would not surprise me if they ended the season number one and number two in defensive rating, or at the very least, like two of the top three, two of the top four, something along those lines. And you felt it. You felt it watching it, and you felt how precious every decent scoring opportunity was in the game. And in that game, in a game where, again, points were incredibly hard to come by, and guys were just like, and the Oklahoma City like record-setting defense that we saw last season was really, I thought, at its best, give or take a J-Dub who had to miss the game, unfortunately, with an injury. Alperen Sengun kind of dominated. The man played 49 minutes, first of all, scored 39 points on 24 shots. He was 12 of 24, got to the line 11 times, made 10 of those free throws, and had 11 rebounds and 7 assists. So I think the national takeaway from this game is that Sengun has arrived. He is an all MVP lock. I pulled up one. There are a couple of funny ones. So no, sorry, that's the Melo one. So there was a lot of and Jeff is back. Hi, Jeff.
Can I give my quick take on the Melo?
Oh yeah, sure. You want to? But we're moving on to Sengun. But give your take on the Melo. Sure.
If you thought NBC was going to be all buttoned up and stuffy and masterpiece theater, Melo said, nah, that's not going down. Now, I heard a lot of commentary around it, and what I will say is this: I don't have a problem with him not wearing a suit. It's more so a style that complements the suits that are that they're rocking. The first studio show that they did in preseason, he had on this sweater that while it wasn't business formal or whatever, it wasn't a suit. No. It still was within the style of what everybody else was wearing. It looked like a formalized, cool look. Yeah. Like it looked modern, it looked chic, but it still looked formalized. He always in there with the velour. It's like it's a little beyond the pale for the broadcast itself, just because it looks so jarring. Like there's a part of me that does, like one of my boys, he said he'll be the old man and say that Melo needs to wear a suit. And there's a part of me that thinks about the time and place. I just think you can wear your own style. It just was a little too jarring for the visual. The analysis and all of that was on point. It was just a little bit too jarring for the visual. I may or may not have put my hand over my heart when the round ball rock hit, because this means something to me.
We all did. I want to get back to the NBC broadcast later because there's some other things I want to hit on there. What great artist does not make you a little bit uncomfortable? What great artist does not push the boundaries? What great artist does not make you stop and say, do I like this? Is this going too far? Carmelo Anthony, listen, man, if this is what he's going to do as his career now, that's a form of art. And I respect the choice that he made 100%. Okay. So we're talking about Sengun. Are you an Alperen Sengun guy, Jeff? We've never had a conversation about Alperen Sengun, shockingly.
I've seen a couple of his movies. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate his art. You know, I think he could act. I think he's next up. He's like my Glenn Powell of the league. You feel me?
Alperen Sengun, Glenn Powell.
He's nice.
Comparison.
I like watching him play.
Yeah, we'll see if The Running Man hits. I forget when that movie's coming out. It's coming out soon. But anyway, so a couple of Sengun takes that I saw. This is from Sam Quinn. Sam Quinn, friend of the KFS pod. He's a good dude on Twitter. Rockets couldn't quite seal the deal, but that was a welcome to All NBA club night for Alperen Sengun. We could take him out of fake Giannis trades now. And then the other one that I saw that I liked was, and this was all over Twitter, was the comparison to Dirk Nowitzki. I could not believe how many Sengun Dirk comparisons I saw after last night's game. So Shawn, I'll throw it back to you. Like look, caveat, one game, the whole thing. It's easy to say this is all way too premature, but this guy was very close to being an all-star last year. He was on the fringes of the All-NBA conversation. So I kind of want to zag against the zag and be like, you know what? Saying like, okay, he's here. He's an All-NBA player. I mean, yes, we could christen him that after one game. I kind of want to say that's the right take. What say you?
Well, Alperen Sengun he made the All-Star team last year. He wasn't on the
he ended up making. I thought he missed it. I thought he just missed it. That's my bad.
He made it. Yeah, he made it. Which was a surprise to some, although a lot of people were advocating for that, you know, leading up to the votes the team being announced. And what a surprise that tall European white guy who chucks a lot of threes gets compared to Dirk Nowitzki.
But that's the funny part. He never shot. I mean, he shot threes last year. He didn't make any of them. That's maybe the Dirk part is what I have an issue with. The All NBA part, not so much. The Dirk part is what I have an issue with.
So I'll say this: if to your point, Alperen Sengun last year, I have it up here. He took 1.2 threes a game last year.
Yeah,
he took 8 last night.
Yeah,
if he's going to keep up this level of volume and shoot league average from three, just like league average, shoot like 34%, right? Yeah. 35%, right?
Yeah.
If he can do that, this changes everything, because I was not very high on the Rockets going into the season as compared to most people. Like, I think, like, yes, adding Kevin Durant is cool. I've also seen Kevin Durant be the best player on bad teams in Phoenix. The loss of Fred VanVleet didn't help either. But if this guy is doing this, like to Sam's point, like, yeah, there's no trading this guy. This is everything has changed.
All right. So when you okay, there's no trading this guy. I always get a little queasy when people are like, he's now off the table in these talks, because now all of us, okay, let's say Giannis becomes available tomorrow, which is not going to happen, but let's just say he becomes available tomorrow. So Amen Thompson, everybody proclaimed after what he did last year, we're going to get to him in a bit, he is now off the table in any superstar trade talks you want to have. So now we're putting Sengun in that category too. Durant obviously is not getting traded for Giannis, because what the hell would Milwaukee want with Kevin Durant? And also Kevin Durant has made it like has flexed his muscles enough such that, and we saw this with the Timberwolves this summer, if he don't want to be traded someplace, he's not going to be traded someplace. So what you are saying in essence, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Rockets are now in a position where if Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available, they're just going to be like, we're good. We're just not interested. And of course, Jeff left me.
I will
answer for Jeff.
Yeah. So, and maybe this is because I'm an older basketball fan who grew up in the 90s and values big men more than others.
Giannis a big man.
No, I ride with me, Jack. I'm gonna land the plane.
Okay, ride the plane.
If you come to me and if Raphael Stone, I believe, is the general manager of the Houston Rockets, and he says, all right, we got to trade one, Sengun or Thompson or Amen. Who would you trade? I would trade Amen and keep Sengun. Simply because a wise man once told me, you never see a great big on a bad team. And if you have the great big makes everyone's life easier than the great guard. And yes, I know what team I root for. I know who the best player on my team is. But that is why I'm like, because to your point, if you're trading for Giannis, it can't, like, yes, they're going to want all the picks. Milwaukee's going to want all the picks, but they're going to want one of those two at minimum. You're not sending them Tari Eason and freaking, whoever, right? So, that's who I would pick, but that's who I would pick.
I'm actually going to agree with my own absurd take, which is that I think where the Rockets are at right now, I think you want to see it through with these three guys. And again, Durant, like, they kind of got on, for a song, essentially. They paid nothing for him. Jeff, so looking at the core, because the other take that I had coming from the Houston game, well, I had two other takes coming from the Houston side of things. The second one we'll get to in a moment. But watching at times last night, it was like, this team could have 3 All-Stars this year. I know the All-Star competition is going to be ferocious because of the new format, where there's going to be, I think it's 8 international players and then 16 American-born players. So it makes, but then again, Sengun would get in the international. I think they have a chance. I don't think it's out of bounds that we could be looking at 3 Rockets All-Stars this year. Again, maybe an overreaction, but I feel like we've kind of seen this coming for a while, especially since Sengun was an All-Star last year, as Shawn reminded me.
For sure. And it all depends on how they start, right? If they're one of the top 5 teams in the league, you are a candidate for 3 All-Stars. They're also in a conference where there's a lot of competition. So it's going to be interesting to see. But once you weave in narratives, people are looking for the Amen Thompson leap. Sengun is already being compared to Dirk after one game. He did something until Luka showed him up like 20 minutes later. He was the only player in NBA history to have at least 39, 11, and 7, which is a little bit of fishing for stats, because why not 40? Like, that's just a pet peeve with numbers.
Because you got to get the graphic up there. You got to get the graphic on the TV.
It's more impactful when they're multiples of 5. That could be a take, because otherwise we get into the LeBron stat era. Like, I remember when we started getting into heavy analytics, and it was LeBron was the first person in NBA history to wear a headband while scoring 40 points in the state of Wisconsin, while also using his right arm and under 30 minutes in a game. Like, it was like some of the stats, I was like, yo, this seems like it's a fake stat, but still impressive. 39, 11, and 7 until Luka went 43, 12, and 9 or something like that a few minutes later. So I do think if Kevin Durant has a pulse and he's playing all right, he's making an all-star team. Sengun, he can go back to back. If a man makes that leap early, I could see them getting 3, but it also depends on how he functions in this new role as the main facilitator. Because boy, after one game, I don't know. I think the Rockets need a point guard.
So, okay.
I think they need a facilitator, bro. They need a facilitator. And I got some numbers on that. If you're segueing into it,
we're gonna segue into it right now because I gotta tell you, man. On the Amen Thompson point, I don't want to like skirt past Amen Thompson because I thought Amen Thompson, Sengun was the best player for Houston in the game. Amen Thompson was the guy who impressed me the most because of what they required him to do, manning the point and like running the show. And I thought he did that more than well enough for what this team like needs from him, given the other playmakers that they have on the floor. And then he went out of the game at times, and eventually he went out of the game permanently because hopefully it's nothing serious. I think maybe it was just a cramp, whatever it was. And I'm going to look it up right now. How many total minutes of Reed Sheppard did we get in this game? We got 28 minutes of Reed Sheppard in this game. Somehow he was a net neutral. He was the plus minus when he was on the floor was even, was 0. I got to tell you guys, I am old enough to remember watching Tyler Kolek in the first 2 Summer League games for the Knicks this year when he couldn't like get up the court. And he had a big old bullseye on his back when he was playing defense. This reminded me a little bit of that.
You know,
I'm sorry.
I'll say this. And you know, because we are Knicks fans, we saw the Tom Thibodeau show up close and personal, and we saw how Tom Thibodeau, you know, if he had the guys that he trusted, and if he didn't trust you, he didn't play you unless he was back into a corner with a gun to his head and a hand around his neck. And Ime basically did the same thing. Reed Sheppard. It's like, yo, this guy's not good. He's not going to play. And he was a 3rd pick in the draft. And Ime was like, no good. And now you think, and listen, if he wasn't good enough, he wasn't good enough. And now you think like maybe if Reed Sheppard just being thrown to the wolves because after the injury to Fred VanVleet, maybe it would have benefited the Rockets to play him a little more, to say like, all right, we're playing Charlotte, we're playing Utah tonight. We're gonna give you like 20 minutes to get. Listen, I'm not saying it would have worked, or I'm not saying that if he had did that last year, Reed Sheppard would have came in and had like 12 assists or what have you. But he didn't look good, but I'm not ready to pull the plug on him just yet, because again, he was the number 3 pick of the draft. But to Jeff's point, yeah, like I was telling my man Ali, who Jeff knows, yesterday, he was like, "Well, they got Reed," because I was like, "Yo, they have no point guard issues." Like, "Well, they have Reed Sheppard," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And
I got 3 takes. Number 1, he was the number 3 pick in a very weak draft, so I think using that as like a reason to continue to believe in him is a little iffy. 2, I'm getting major Dennis Smith Jr. vibes. Not in terms of the player type at all, even though they kind of play the same position, but in the fact that he was on the Mavs for a year, Dennis Smith Jr., and obviously they got Lucas, so that changed the equation a little bit. But they shipped him out of town awfully fast in his 2nd season, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. And by the time they traded him, like the word was already out, the word that got around to everybody except the Knicks, which is unfortunate, but neither here nor there. I wonder if the Rockets, if there's, if they need a lead playmaker, if they feel like they need a real point guard, might they dangle him ahead of this trade deadline? And then the third thing is, I'm always worried about if you're a guy that comes into the league and it's like, well, there's some shaky stuff here, but as long as, because he has this one elite skill, everything else is going to be okay. And for Reed Sheppard, that elite skill is 3-point shooting. And I'm worried about that, as opposed to a guy like Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner has had like a multi-year hitch in his jumper. He's still a really good, helpful player because he's a good all-around player. That ain't Reed Sheppard. So I don't know. Jeff, you had a look on your face before when we brought him up. So I'm curious what your take is.
Yeah, Kolek Mania was running wild. When I tell you the whole timeline was Mouse in the house and Reed Sheppard, you don't want to be the main character on opening night. He was the main character on defense. When Amen went out with that cramp, it was a seafood boil on the court. All right. We had the crab, we had the lobster leg, we had the lobster tails, we had the crab legs, we had the crawfish, we had all of that, bro. And he was doing his best. Maybe this is a trial through fire, which he eventually becomes a serviceable player. But man, I looked it up. Amen Thompson, he averaged 18% usage last year. Yesterday, he was at 26% usage. That's about roughly an 8% jump.
That's
it doesn't bode well when the guy you're asking to be the main hub and facilitator on offense starts cramping up game one. Maybe it was a fluke accident. Maybe, you nervous, whatever, like worked out without eating before, worked out without drinking before, and it catches up to you. Whether the youth force can only hold off those type of things so much, right? So I can chalk that one up, but it is something to monitor that if he's not built for that much usage, that's going to be a problem. And I think he can eventually build up to it. Once again, there's people who on this show as Knicks fans, we know you are going to be, your endurance can be tested and it can be built up throughout the year depending on how much you play. Having said that, a lot of that offense got by on vibes, just being good hoopers. Sengun bailing out with threes. KD taking a good portion of shots up until the fourth quarter where they forgot why they traded for KD and had KD, and he only had like one shot going into whatever the first regulation. Yeah. So these are the type of things where I say, okay, you can probably out-talent a few teams and get around the lack of offensive movement, but eventually against a team like OKC, it is going to catch up to you.
Listen to what you just said. Eventually against a team like OKC, there might only be one team like OKC, and it's going to, if they have to face them in the playoffs, they're going to get a 6-month runway to try to iron out these kinks. And even in game one, watching the Rockets guys, I didn't get the sense that it was purely like a your turn, my turn thing. I thought there was enough synergy there to be hopeful about what might be coming down the pike, specifically for that offense. If, to Sean's point, Sengun's going to shoot it. Because Sengun shooting it and opening up the floor, I think is, as you said, I do think it is a legitimate game changer. I'll just say this, Sean, you sent out our KFS picks sheet earlier this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even they lost game one, Thompson cramped up, Sheppard didn't look good the whole thing. I took the over on, what was it, 53.5?
I believe it was 53.5.
53.5.
I'll tell you right now.
So, yeah. I got to tell you, I was very encouraged by what I saw from Houston last night. Would not shock me if they were the 2 seeds still, even without Van Vliet for the year, but I don't know. That might be a hot take.
Real quick.
Yes.
One, it was 52.5, but you take it over fine. Number two, not only about Sengun, but listen, Amen Thompson took 7 threes last night.
That's a big deal.
He made as many as I did last night, but he took them. I think there's been a directive across Houston to take more threes, because last year they took average 35.3 attempts per game, which was 20th in the NBA. Last night they took 39, which would have been 10th, good for 10th best in the NBA. League average is 37.6. So they got the memo, and because that was the big thing about Sengun last year. It's like, a big who can't, if he can't shoot threes, his ceiling's limited. But clearly they told those guys, let it fly. And by the way, I will be looking at Amen Thompson over 3 bets for the next few days, because if he's taking 7, look, I'll tell you like this: him hitting 2 threes yesterday was plus 500.
That really?
Yes. One. Shout out to my man Ali. He told me about this bet. Right before into dinner. 1 3 was even money. 2 threes was like plus 500. And the fact that he went 0 for 7 might be like, so keep an eye on that.
I see why. I saw why.
Eventually,
this isn't the Landry Shamet even money to hit 1 3 heist that was last year when the books were on all types of Fent. What like letting that fly. But if he starts hitting eventually, that does have to cash.
Yeah.
Shawn, you know what you got to do? You got to just wait until he plays the Knicks. And then when he plays the Knicks, just take all of the 3-point. Actually, do that for every sub 30% 3-point shooter in the league. And that's the way to pay off your mortgage. Just bet the over on threes for every one of them.
Especially if it's in the Garden.
All right. Briefly before we move on, we should talk about the Thunder, the defending world champs, who won a game in which they shot 25% from three, and in which SGA had like 11 points through the first 3 quarters, something like that.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Well, they didn't have their All NBA second best player. Except they can, Shawn. Apparently, like we don't need to do like a take thing on OKC because I don't even know what your take would be. That they're still really good and that they could still like win games that they have no business winning. I
got one, but I'll clear the runway for you.
I don't have anything. Give it here. It's all yours.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are starting to look like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NBA.
Oh God.
You can't keep getting away with this.
That's a great take.
Oh man, 25% from 3, down 2 with seconds to go in OT. SGA just comes down and hits the 3. Surviving. You want to talk about 90s nostalgia? Surviving a Fab 5 timeout when you didn't have a timeout, not getting called to go into a second OT. Oh, ho hum. Jay Mitchell, Kaysen Wallace, and Aaron Wiggins dropped 40 combined points. Chet Holmgren, you want to talk about looking like Dirk. Chet making a leap in game 1, and then SGA being the guy. You can be comfortable when you have a certified guy and not just the best player on your team. All-star, all-NBA, legitimate stake to best in the world on your team. That's a level of comfort that few teams know, and that the Thunder have an embarrassment of riches right now. And J-Dub didn't play.
So
that team is deep. That team is reliable, and they walk teams down. And it's getting to the point that when Shawn said they can't keep getting away with this, it clicked, and I got immediately pissed that these guys are looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFL. If they start getting calls, if they start getting them type of calls, chalk it up, bro.
What do you mean
Chalk
start?
it up.
It's already
start.
I mean, I'm thinking what's the equivalent of the flag? Oh, what? You get called for a foul, but here if you touch SGA, it's 15 yards.
But here's the thing, though. The calls that SGA gets are not James Harden calls. They are like, needless to say, the key play of the game, the foul on Kevin Durant that put SGA on the line, and he sank the game-winning free throws. I mean, KD didn't argue. There was no one who thought that wasn't a foul. The fouls that SGA draws are legit fouls because of his craft and because of what he's able to coax defenders into doing. There's nothing, seemly about that. As I see it, that's me.
There's a bit of grift. There's a little grift.
Which is always be in selling. This NBA. What is it? Always be closing. Yeah. If you are
always be grifting.
If you are a vendor, if you are selling a product, there's going to be just maybe a tinge of snake oil involved. You may overestimate what you have. You got to sell, and sometimes you use your charisma. And that boy got a lot of charisma. With his moves. I didn't see merchant activity last night. I will say that. I didn't see merchant activity. There's always a hint, but I didn't see the merchant activity that he was being accused of last year, or some other players that get a national spotlight and then all of a sudden get called the worst grifters in the game. But I digress.
I completely agree with Jeff. And to your point about Mitchell coming off the bench and going 6 of 12 and 3 of 6 from deep, a guy, by the way, drafted after Tyler Kolek. Throwing that out there. It is the Chiefs of the NBA with a little bit of the old Patriots thrown in, because you would be watching Patriots games, and yes, they'd be led by Tom Brady, but there would be some little receiver or cornerback or someone where you're like, where did this guy come from? How did he end up on their team? Why did nobody else see this coming? Like, I remember Wes Welker. Wes Welker got cut, I think, or either got cut by the Dolphins or they traded him to the Patriots for not much. And then he goes and he gets, 1,500 yards. It feels like whether it's Mitchell, whether it's Case and Wallace, like, so the Thunder have created a farm system that the rest of the NBA is going to, I feel like pretty soon is going to look at and be like, what is in the water in Oklahoma City that we are not getting?
Chet is Gronk. Is Chet Gronk?
Then who's J-Dub? Because doesn't...
Ooh, Moss.
Oh.
I mean,
fair.
This is not... I'm getting depressed. I want to drink.
Every NBA fan, maybe outside of those in San Antonio, should be getting depressed. Okay, let's move on. There was a second game last night. Lakers Warriors. The biggest takeaway on NBA social media, very, very clearly, I'll pull up a tweet right here, was that it is officially Jonathan Kuminga season. No, hold on. Here we go. So we got Kermit here drinking the tea. So this is from Swish Culture. I'm just going to read it. Jonathan Kuminga guarded Luka, hit more threes than Curry on more efficiency, led the team in rebounds, and still is getting nasty comments. You know who you are. Next goalpost is that 30-point triple-double on 100% efficiency. Okay. I think Jonathan Kuminga might be the top guy in the league right now that elicits these exact sort of responses. I will call them, for Knick fans, the Alonzo Trier responses, because that's the closest approximation that I could make, where it's like, oh, you guys are sleeping on this. Well, you're listening to all the doubters. You're listening to what they are saying. Okay.
There's a much better name.
Give me the better name.
I know what you're going to say.
Give me the better name.
Rowan Alexander Barrett Jr.
You're right.
Oh, I wasn't even going there.
Where were you going, Jeff?
Yeah,
the name. Hashtag meaningful.
Oh,
yo, that's a... You know what? That's a...
long live. If Cam Reddish dribbled the ball without sharding himself, yes, we got.
Yes.
I don't know. How's he doing over in
Lithuania?
Athens? I don't know.
Listen, the way people felt about Cam Reddish was the same way I felt about Dragon. I thought he was next. I thought Dragon was next. That might be how a lot of people felt about Bleak, although he did have a little bit of a spot. It might be more Bleak than Dragon, but if you told me if him and Lord Have Mercy from Conglomerate, if you told me them guys wasn't next, bro, that would have been money stock that I would have lost my shirt on.
We have absolutely dated ourselves because no one under the age of 30 knows who Lord Have Mercy or Dragon are.
That's a deep cut. That's a super
very
deep cut.
I mean, I was into hip hop back then, and it's no lost on me. Just throwing it out there. So yeah, Jonathan Kuminga. Look, he's good. I don't think anyone, even his doubters, ever thought he wasn't good. I thought it was more a system thing. Like, can he fit with what Golden State likes to do? And he fit in last night. Is that because the dude got paid? Is that because the dude is auditioning for the rest of the league? Whatever it is, he was good. And I got to tell you, I don't know that I'm like a Jonathan Kuminga believer now any more than I was previously. And again, I wasn't like super down on him or anything. I do think it makes the Warriors' ceiling higher than I probably anticipated going into last night. I don't know if either of you guys have a take on that.
Well, I think I had them, as I look at my standings predictions for Golden State, I had them as the 5 seed.
Okay. I have them as the 4, but I did that this morning. So.
Yeah. For me, when it comes to Kuminga, I think clearly, like last year, Kerr was like, run my shit or sit down, and he wouldn't run. Like,
and he sat down.
And he sat down. Listen, maybe, I have to I'd love to get I love to chat with like DJ and Benji to see if Golden State's doing anything slightly schematically this year. If Kerr is doing something slightly schematically this year, but they like if they like their window is look, they're they have 4 guys in their team that were drafted in 2012, 2011, 2009, and 2007. Like their window is now. And if they're going to maximize this window, which is okay, like listen, Steph's in year 17. If they can get help from anywhere, if this kid, the talent is always there for this kid from day one. If this kid can help them win, it is incumbent on Steve Kerr to find a way to make sure this kid helps them win. Because you can't be on this run my shit, and you lose in the first round again because not first round. You lose in round 2 because you don't trust this guy. You give him he's catching DNP CDs.
Yeah. Well. Look, we'll see if he's going to be on the team when they get to the first round of the playoffs this year, and we shouldn't even make that presupposition because the West is crazy brutal. I don't know. I thought they looked pretty good. Luka's really good. I don't know what else to say about that. He's in shape. He looks in shape. I actually thought about you, Shawn, because we went into Fanatics headquarters yesterday. Shout out to Fanatics. And Shawn, you predicted Luka to lead the league in scoring. I predicted Luka to win the MVP. Jeff, which of the two of us do you think is more likely to be right, or both of us?
Damn, that is even money right there. That's a coin flip. I'd probably go with the scoring title.
I think I would go with the scoring
if you force me to choose, I'd probably go with the scoring title because I don't know if the Lakers would make a significant impact on the standings enough to justify overcoming back-to-back Shea MVP narratives versus we giving Jokic another MVP. I don't care what y'all say narratives because he's excellent every year. I think there's a lot of things that would have to happen for him to get into the legitimate MVP conversation, like to be the clear cut. If they're a top 3 seed, it's happening. It's happening. If the Lakers are a top 3 seed, given everything that we saw last night, it is happening. But I do think Luka is going to have to put up numbers in order for them to even have a chance.
I actually think there's a better chance of MVP.
Really?
Because, listen, the league, the writers, the media have been itching to give this guy an MVP. As I say it every year, he is top 5.
You say that like it bothers you.
You know what it is? He is top 5 preseason MVP every single year. And then, yes, he made the finals once, but there are a lot of yes.
He's finished in the top 5 in MVP voting for like 3 or 4 years.
You know what it is, Macri? And Shawn, hold your thought. Don't lose nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what it's like? It's like how some rap fans have an issue. A lot of rap fans had issues with when Eminem ever dropped an album, it automatically got shot to the top without having any type of like discussion over what else was out there. Like it eclipsed without even a conversation.
That's a fair comparison. I will just say hold on. Are you guys sitting down? You guys are sitting down. This will shock you both. I was an Eminem fan back in the day. Shawn, are you surprised by that?
I was an Eminem fan back in the day. Although
everybody was an Eminem fan back
someone said, I forget who said this. Oh, I forget who said this. It's like I was an Eminem, like the line of demarcation for like Eminem fans was the Eminem show. And it's like if you're still on the ride at the Eminem show, then you were riding forever. And then at that point, a lot of people were like for me, it was the Marshall Mathers LP. After that, I was like, this guy's a little but I mean, he's
Eminem
good.
Was the Eminem show the album was Square Dancing?
Again, I hopped off the ride at the Eminem show. So
okay,
I'll look it up.
If you want to look that up. But I'm an Eminem guy. I was an Eminem guy, and I'm a Luka guy. So there you go.
So for Luka, I think it's MVPs because again they've been itching to give this guy, and I don't even think they have to finish top 3. Like I think if the Lakers finish 6th because everything is a dumpster fire around him and he's putting up numbers, it'll be the Russell Westbrook all over again thing. Because like again, they have wanted to give him like when I shouldn't say he's been like preseason favorite or number 2 favorite like every single year because they want to give him this award. And square dancing was
It was on
not,
the Eminem show. I just
yes, it was on the Eminem show. Yes,
very
so
proud of that pull.
yeah, I actually think it was. I actually think and he has a better shot at MVP because as I told one of my friends yesterday at dinner, who said like now LeBron out for a month, it's clearly Luka's team now, and I'm like, does LeBron know that? Like, are we like?
Oh my God, hold on. The best part of last night on either broadcast, easily, was during the Laker game. Luka did something. I forget what he did. He made a very tough bucket, and not Ian Eagles kid who did a great job on the broadcast. Noah, there you go. Was like, I forget I should have written down what the exact words, but it was something along the lines of LeBron James is happy with that, and the camera goes over to LeBron, and he has a absolute straight, like, no expression look on his face whatsoever, staring 1,000-yard stare.
He knows what time it is.
I love it. I love it. That's a good point, though, Sean. I almost forgot about the Luka every year. They're ready. Like, he's on the precipice every year. So I definitely see that. I do think if the output continues, it's going to be Luka, Shea, and probably a dark horse that we haven't seen yet.
Maybe it's Jalen Brunson. Here's my thing. The DeAndre Ayton hate fest in LA already began. It began about midway through the second quarter last night. Hearing the unmistakable murmurs throughout that arena. Yeah. But it was like before he got the ball. It was like when the ball was like on his side of the court and he was like posting up. It started, and then when he got the ball, it got louder, and then when he like missed a shot or turned it over, it's just so I watched the team last night that had the best player that I saw play basketball on opening night, and I was like, this is a 42-win team as I was watching them. If LeBron James comes back, maybe it's different, but LeBron James is our age.
Yeah,
so
listen,
throwing that out there.
Look, I said the Lakers are my nominee for the season from hell team.
Did say that.
Like, they get absolutely. And listen, because again, I'm out with a friend last night, and he's a Laker fan. He brings up DeAndre Ayton. And I said, you're depending on a guy who said his stated goal in life was to get to his second contract. Like, that is who you're depending on. And listen, if the New York Knicks crowd. If the New York Knicks crowd, if the Madison Square Garden crowd is number one in terms of savviness and ball knowledge, the Staples Center crowd is number two. They know BS when they see it, and they've watched that dude be on bullshit 4 times a year in Phoenix, 2 to 3 times a year in Portland. They know what time. Like, anyone who was trying to buy the DeAndre Ayton, like, but you put the yellow, you put on the purple and gold, and people think everyone just turns into something. So I'm surprised it took it taking a half for people to realize that he is who we thought he was. Come on.
I'll keep it real with you. They probably saw him come in with that brown hair and was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are we even doing? You not even like, you dyeing your hair already? Like, you think you Rodman? Like, what's going on? Like, it's like when a player you already are iffy about starts doing individualistic things like style, like look at me type stuff. Like, you dye your hair, you're trying to do something new, quote unquote. Then it's like, yo, you better drop 30. Otherwise, I'm going to be pissed. 1, because you're on my team. 2, because you're doing bullshit. And 3, because you got some crazy style or tat or dyed hair, or you wearing mad arm sleeves and leg sleeves. Like, you got mad accessories. Like, what are we doing here? Like, so I could see the crowd on top of that, just like, I'm annoyed for multiple reasons.
Yeah, another low light. I forget which Warrior. I think it was Buddy Hield, actually. Drained a 3, and Ayton was the closest defender. And after he hit the 3, Grant Hill is like, well, yeah, that's what you do when you have a guy guarding you who doesn't close out. And it wasn't even like Ayton didn't close out there. It was just Grant Hill making a declarative statement. DeAndre Ayton does not close out on shooters, which not the best. Very briefly before we look ahead to tonight, I thought the NBC broadcast, you talked about it a little bit before, Jeff, was great. I thought the Michael Jordan thing, I thought the take of the day came from Bill Simmons on his podcast, where he was just like, Michael Jordan could basically say anything. He could read the ingredients off of a mac and cheese container, and it's going to be enthralling. I, for one, am looking forward to Michael Jordan being back in our lives on these broadcasts throughout the rest of the year.
Same here, and I think they're doing a good job at I like not putting him in studio is a great idea. Like Michael Jordan's not the studio analyst guy. He's like, let me tell you this is what I've seen. This is my approach. This is how it applies to the game today.
Yeah, I love it. It'll be cool if he gives some actual analysis like on the games, but even just him sitting there telling stories, it's like Uncle Mike. It's fine. Okay, I am putting up here I gotta get used to this. Okay, the slate of games for tonight. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. We're running a little low on time, so why don't we we'll kind of go I'll start, and then Shawn, then Jeff, and then we'll go back to me, and then you guys. We'll do 2 each. Pick a game and something we're looking forward to seeing from the game. Should we make the next game not allowed to be picked, or should that be eligible?
We can make it last.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
We can talk about the game last. Okay, that's a good idea. All right, I am gonna start. All right, I'm just gonna go take the low-hanging fruit. I'm gonna start with Spurs Mavs, and it's not Cooper Flag. Sorry, it is Wemby versus AD. And I don't know, is AD going to guard Wemby or attempt to guard Wemby? Maybe it'll be, their centers because they have a bunch of centers. But I am very excited to see year 3 Wemby, which is, again, the lowest hanging, casual fan take in the room. And that's my pick.
Jeff, you want to go next?
Thank you, because I thought you were going to take my pick. So I'm glad I get to
nice
go.
Guy. Sure.
New Orleans, Memphis, the Could Have Been Records invitational between the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick in the 2019 draft, John Morant and Zion Williamson. Will the new look Zion and the new look Grizzlies, what is going to happen? Like, they have as much of prove it pressure on them like anybody else. And I want to see, what are we, 5 years, 6 years removed from that draft? It's a good look at where are they now and what are you going to do?
I don't have either of these teams making the playoffs. Or the play-in for that matter. Shawn, you're up.
I'm gonna go to Philadelphia at Boston, because I want to see the debut of Captain Jaylen Brown. Look at me. Like, what? Listen. So funny. Wait,
who's Tom Hanks in this analogy?
The guy with the Achilles that's sitting over there. Yeah, he is Tom Hanks.
That's good.
No matter how many times you show him jumping and dunking on the court, that dude is not playing a minute this year. I don't give a fuck.
I might have to bet you a beer on that.
Unless a Celtics fan came back from 21-25 and brought new technology. If he tries, he's wilding. I'll say that. If he tries, he's wilding.
He's gonna try, but the organization has to be an adult. But I say that to say, so funny you said that. I had Luka to win a scoring title. That's possible, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. For Jaylen Brown to win a scoring title. In fact, I already made a bet earlier this year of him to score. It was Andrew that said Luka scoring title.
Oh, that's right. I got your picks mixed.
I know. Listen, me and Andrew look very similar. It happens all the time. So. It wouldn't listen. This dude will score. I think he's going to average 28 points a game. It's going up. Okay. It's going up at the TD Jakes Center tonight in Boston, Massachusetts. So I have my eye on that.
Okay. God. All right. I'm back up. I want to give an honorable mention after this, but I'm going to go with Raps Hawks. I'm high on the Hawks this year. I'm very curious to see what the Hawks look like this year. And there is a part of me that is like looking forward to this Raptors experiment falling flat on its face. And that has nothing to do with the two former Knicks who are on the team. I will continue to root for them. I don't believe in what they're doing in Toronto. And prove me wrong. That's it. Prove me wrong.
Watch this game. Toronto's getting 5.5. Watch the game be close for no reason because Hawks are Hawks. just because. Just because. But I'm with you.
Jeff, you're up.
I'm gonna go Washington, Milwaukee, because I need to know what the Bucks are cooking.
They're not cooking anything. They're cooking a goodbye cake.
They're cooking something. I don't know if it's a goodbye cake. I don't know if it's cupcakes, if it's brownies. I don't know if it's that make your own pizza and you get into a competition. You like, your pizza's kind of ass. What are they cooking?
I know Milwaukee is known, or Wisconsin is known for their cheese. I bet their pizza tastes like shit. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Sorry. Shawn, last up.
All right. So I'm gonna go with and I had no interest in I'm gonna go with Sacramento at Phoenix.
Oh, that was my honorable mention. What's your reason?
And the only reason I will give a flying you-know-what about this game is a tweet I saw about an hour and a half ago.
I wonder if it's the same.
Is it the Sam Cooper tweet or the Matt Ishbia retweet?
Yes, we're okay. Please explain.
So Sam Cooper tweeted a screenshot from The Ringer, and it said, "I look forward to this take just officially being just ridiculously wrong." And that take was the Suns will have the worst defense in the NBA. Full disclosure, Sam Cooper is the co-host of the Timeline Pod, which is a Phoenix Suns podcast.
Friend of the Knicks Film School podcast.
Shout out to Sam.
Ooh.
And Matt Ishbia, yes, the owner of the Phoenix Suns, retweeted it, added Bill Simmons and said, "You and your crew have some good takes and some that are terrible. You're the betting guru, and even you know better to actually take this bet. Tell you what, go put your money on this take. When you lose, I will donate the same to a charity of your choice. Different culture and different team in Phoenix this year. Let's go." To which Bill replied, "To be fair, this is from a Ringer piece called, quote unquote, increasingly bold predictions. My only Suns pick was capital under 31.5 wins, just FYI. Happy to wager on that, but you're an NBA owner and you're not allowed to bet. Maybe we should just bet aspiration stock." I'm watching this motherfucking game tonight.
So you keyed
Jeff's
on
Jeff's face.
Yo. Because I didn't think Bill was gonna respond. I didn't think, because he usually does it, but
the owner of the Suns, he was good.
Matt,
was like,
hey, you want to talk about a take? I'm there, Shawn. I'm there. Matt Ishbia is 1 or 2 seasons away from being the WOT of owners, the worst of all time. He's a couple of steps away. It could get dark early. It could get late early for him. It could get really late early. Like it's looking spooky. It's looking spooky.
You just hit on what this game is. This is the worst owner bowl. This is the face off between the two worst owners in the league, Matt Ishbia and Vivek Ranadive.
Yes.
And the reason, and Shawn, you nailed half of the reason why I was going to take this game. The whole reason is that these two fan bases have been chirping an awful lot about, everybody thinks we're going to be terrible. We're actually going to outkick our coverage. We're going to be respectable. One of these two fan bases is going to feel like shit after tonight, and I cannot wait to see which one it is. I don't even care which one it is.
So this is like the battle of the bad stars, not the battle of the best, battle of the bad stars between Sheppard and Vivek. Wow. Yeah. Oh, let's go. I prayed for times like this because y'all said a lot. Y'all said a lot over them past 20, 25 years. I know it was crazy, but y'all said a lot. Just because a city ain't popping like that don't mean that facts ain't facts about droughts in the playoffs or about overall mediocrity. At least try to be good and bomb. Right. Don't try to be mediocre and still bomb.
Yeah, there's some rough stuff going on in Phoenix.
Shout out to the Beam.
Shout out to the Beam. They'll always have the Beam team and Mike Brown, who is coaching in his Knicks debut tonight. Before we get out of here, let's give one Knicks take. I will go first. I think tonight is going to be an ugly game. I think neither team is going to look great because both teams are banged up. I am not going to pick the game, which probably should let you know which way I'm leaning. But I think we are going to get a Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell duel in the fourth quarter.
I'm taking the under. That's all I'm going to say.
What is the over under?
I actually
whatever it is you take.
It is 229 according to our friends at Fanatic.
Oh yeah, give me the under on that, please.
So
Jeff,
if you thought the Christmas Day extravaganza from Mikal Bridges was something, wait until tonight. Oh,
I like that. I like the vocals and I like the take.
The Mikal Bridges, I'm an all-star this year, damn it, campaign starts tonight.
I hope you're right. It might be made a little bit easier if there is no Karl Anthony Towns, who we should say is questionable. So we'll see if he plays.
Oh, and also, Knicks fans, if you wanted 5 out, 5 out is in tonight, boy.
That's the line that, shout out to Fanatics, the Fanatics should set. Over under on minutes that we get true 5 out. Because they correct me if I'm wrong, they only have one non-floor spacer active tonight, and that's Huckporty, right? Let's not forget someone.
Unless you count Trey Jameson.
I was about to say, unless Trey Jameson's going to be. I mean, at this point, I think.
Oh, watch Huckporty too.
I think Huckporty's going to play 22 minutes.
From that same cloth of lights is too bright, making you feel like the lights is too bright. So if I was Jared Allen, I'd be doing some pull-ups.
I think we're getting 18 to 22 minutes of Huckporty. I think he's going to start, but I think we're going to mostly see 5 out. So should make a lot of Knicks fans happy. All right. We did another one. This is officially, we're like into our second week of NBA Takedown. Thanks to everybody who tuned in live. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in on the podcast version. I got to start making these plugs at the beginning of the show instead of the end of the show. But we are at the, our infancy here as a podcast, as a YouTube show. So any support you could give us as we continue to try to grow and reach more people, whether that is taking the extra couple of minutes to write a review of the show. If you dig it, if you don't dig it, then please don't write a review. Give us 5 stars, subscribe, put us on notifications on YouTube, and obviously follow wherever you get your podcasts. Shawn, Jeff, anything before we get out of here?
I also have an eye on Brooklyn, Charlotte. I want to see if LaMelo's on bullshit tonight. That's all.
My honorable mention, Jeff.
Follow us everywhere. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know the call to action. So act, y'all. Act. Thank you so much for tapping in with us so far. If you know fans that like the NBA and as objective as we can be, I hope you see that we do keep it real about our team and others. So lock in with us, man. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be a real fun ride this season.
It's been fun already, man. I like that we have actual games to talk about now because now we'll hit our stride, as they say. All right, we have gone over time. Thanks everybody for checking out another episode of NBA Takedown. On behalf of Shawn and Jeff, I am Jonathan Macri, and we will see you again real soon on Friday. Peace out.